Hello, I'm Sarah Subiata Bennett. I'm your host of the Dallas Express video podcast. We've had Monty Bennett on the show several times before, but today you'll get to see a different side of him. We'll go in the mind of Monty to see what motivates him beyond the business world. And later, we'll lighten the mood and take viewer suggestions in search of the best taco in Dallas. Thank you for being here. You are a person who's just very authentic. In our closet, you have jeans and t-shirts and shirts hanging. You're not one to put much emphasis on the shallower things in life. You're someone who's really just what you see is what you get. And that's what I love about you. You're so down to earth. But you've been nailed at the cross a good amount these days, especially after you recently spoke at the Dallas Ink Luncheon. Again, it's that authentic version of you that manages to piss off a lot of people.
You know, that was interesting at the downtown Dallas Ink Luncheon in that, I was very complimentary of downtown Dallas and of the city and of the people there. I just mentioned that I'd love to move my business downtown, but my employees won't stand for it. And it's because there's too much crime and too much homelessness, and they're scared. And boy, you would have thought that I told the king that he had no clothes, because former mayors lined up to address me down over having the temerity of saying something. Mm-hmm. And it's really kind of interesting because, look, when you communicate the truth, you have to do it kindly, and you need to do it kindly. And I believe I did. And I haven't had anybody tell me otherwise at that luncheon. But it might go to show why things aren't improving when you have city leaders not even admit what everyone knows. Everyone knows that there's a crime downtown. Bank of America is moving a quarter of a mile away and building a whole new building. Well, why are they doing that? Well, if you ask anybody, you'll find out it's because their employees don't feel safe there. Mm-hmm. And it's so obvious, yet to have city leaders be so upset that someone states the obvious is kind of weird, it's kind of strange, but it makes sense. That's why things don't improve.
Monty, thank you. Do you think some of these other publications that continue to criticize you are a little upset or jealous that you've effectively started their competitor? We're free, and are they just hurt?
Oh, well, they're not happy that the Dallas Express is in existence. When you and I founded it, we felt like we had to. There's just, the news in town is just not news. It's just so slanted in one direction or another. And so it certainly seems that way, of some kind of pettiness, that they don't like the competition. Not only that it's just another publication, but it's a publication that's not far left. It's just trying to report the news. And people say it's right wing, but it's only because it's right of their publications, which are so far left. And people just want to hear the news and don't want to be preached at. And so there's definitely jealousy, I believe, and envy on their parts for another publication coming in, and the fact that they can't control the narrative here in town, because you see these other big city newspapers and you see these other cities, and they've helped talk these cities into adopting these policies that have ruined all these other big cities. I don't want that for Dallas. You don't want that for Dallas. 90% of Dallasites don't want that for Dallas. But we're going that way with the policies we're adopting, instead of focusing on the core issues that people and voters care about, which is crime, homelessness, cleanliness, education, the like. There's just an article about the head of the Washington Post doing a shakeup because all their numbers are down, and he's told his whole crew, people aren't reading what you're writing. And what he doesn't realize is that's because they have no credibility. It's not that what they're specifically writing generally, it's they have no credibility. When I pick up the Washington Post, I've caught them in so many mistruths. The local publications, I've caught them in so many mistruths about me, even after explaining to them the truth. They don't care. They just print outright lies. And so that's why we had to start the Dallas Express, to do something new.
A bunch of your critics locally like to sling some mud as well. What can you say to them?
Just look at what's happening. Look what's being done. Refuge for Renewal is fantastic, and it's going to help a lot of people. Charter schools for inner city kids is going to help a lot of people. These initiatives help a lot of people. And some of these critics, I mean, they just have problems. I don't know what to say. They just got issues. They were loved as a child. I don't know what it is. think spewing hate and lies is something good for them. I don't know. You can't explain away why people do things. But for any critics, just look at the results and what I'm trying to do, and that's to make the city a better place.
Tell me a little bit about why you decided to get involved in the city to begin with.
I have been fortunate enough in my life to make some good money, and COVID was really a big wake-up call for me. It absolutely devastated my business. People that I've worked with and worked for me for 3 decades, I've had to lay off, and we are still recovering from that. Our industry has not recovered from that at all. And it was countless nights for the maybe 10% of us that were left at the company trying to survive. And we've built back and hired back a lot of those folks, but far from all. And it was really kind of a wake-up call for me and for my life. And I've decided that in that period that I wanted to take my faith a lot more seriously and to devote more time to my faith and to focus more on my family and to focus more on my community, because I've been blessed financially. And it really doesn't matter if you end up with a certain amount of money or a different amount of money. You and I don't plan on leaving much money, if any, to our heirs. They can make it by on their own. And so what better use of my time and talent, such as it is, and money, than helping the community around me and around us. And so I've really adopted it as a passion over the past maybe 4 years or so to really start spending a lot more time in my community. And I've got a lot of time to make up for, because for the prior 55 years of my life, I didn't spend much time helping the community. I gave a lot to other ministries and charities around the world, but very few to here, Dallas, locally.
What initiatives are you getting behind locally? What are you starting and why?
Well, there's quite a few things that I'm involved in here locally. At least a dozen different initiatives of one sort or the other. Some I founded, most I'm just coming alongside and trying to see where I can help, either financially or with my time or with my influence. And there's not enough time here to talk about all of them, but I'll talk about a few of them. One of my great passions is education, and it really is meaningful to me, and it's painful for me to think about all those people that get through high school and can't even read. And these poor people just have no chance in life. They just have no chance, and it breaks my heart. And so I really would like to do something about that. The other day, a friend of mine took me out to a great celebration that the charter school operator Uplift has every year. It was fantastic. It was out in Fort Worth, and they celebrate all the graduates. And so that's something that I have had zero to do with, but maybe I'm getting involved in. There's another charter operator called Responsive Ed that's out in Grapevine that does great work, great leadership there, and thinking about getting involved and doing some things with them. Also helped found with you something called the Dallas Education Collective, which is specifically looking at starting some charter schools in town where it can be helpful. We're not interested in competing with quality public schools, but only where we can provide schooling where kids are not getting it, especially the 70,000 or so kids that are in D and F rated schools, of providing alternatives for them. Or if there's a way we can help those schools, then that's great as well. And then around the state, there's some other education initiatives I'm involved in down at the state capitol and the like, of trying to help where I can with either the State Board of Education or the TEA or wherever. So education is probably the top of the list of what I'd like to get involved in.
I just want you to be real and vulnerable. Why do you care about all of these initiatives?
You know, I have a hard time understanding why other people don't, to be honest with you. I suppose it has a lot to do with my faith more than anything else, and especially since I'm really trying to recommit myself to my faith. And God calls us to help others, and that's what I want to do. Now, I do it imperfectly, and I have many flaws myself, but that's what I enjoy doing, and I enjoy seeing a better community and helping people enjoying a better life here in town. So I suppose it's my faith more than anything, and I've been influenced. A good friend of mine, S.M. Wright, that's has a ministry here in town, and I've been a supporter for his and friend of his for many, many years. And I am just moved about how this guy dedicates his life, and he's very capable, can do lots of things, but he dedicated his life to just help others. And he runs a church. He became his head pastor when his father passed when he was 17, I think. And he runs that church, and he does so much to help people here in town. He does it full time. Here I've been blessed financially so much more than he has been. And the least I can do is at least help financially and give some of my time. So he's an inspiration, and there's other inspirations here in town of people I've worked with over time. Again, my thought is why more people don't do it, especially people that are better off. I don't understand.
It's not just the wealthy people in Dallas that we're trying to raise money from for a bunch of these initiatives. It's a bunch of the other business groups. Can you speak to that?
I think I just want to say that a lot of business groups are very reluctant to take leadership roles, and it's a shame. You see something like MCBA, which we were one of the first members of, is great. They'll jump out there and they'll say what needs to be said, and they're the ones that sponsored and started this Adopt a Block program. They're doing things to help the city. Dallas Regional Chamber has recently started to do some things that I think are even more meaningful, but some of these others in town just don't do anything. I mean, can you name something the Dallas Citizens Council has accomplished here in the city in the past 10 years? It has a who's who of everybody in town, but I don't know what they do. Go to these city council meetings and listen to the people that speak at the city council meeting. The only people that speak hardly are far, far left agitators. They're people that are talking about Palestine and Israel, which has nothing to do with our city, regardless of what you believe in. Where are business leaders? Where are people saying, we need the streets cleaned, we need crime taken care of, we need homelessness addressed? Because if you poll the people, they'll tell you all of that. But no one shows up at the city council meetings to say anything about it. And I imagine they're not communicating it very well to their city council people, because the city council people, by and large, don't operate trying to address those issues. And those are the primary issues. The value of real estate in downtown Dallas would double or triple if the city got a strong control on crime and homelessness downtown.
And Monty, if I can ask this, I know you well, I'm your wife, but what makes you tick? Who are you? Can you talk about your love for Martin Luther King? Some of the things that make you who you are in your personal life, not just the business, Monty.
What gets me excited and passionate are a number of these things I'm doing for the city. That really is part of who I am. But other parts of who I am is, yes, Martin Luther King's someone that I admire greatly. But something else is our children. I love our 4 kids, and they are just adorable. They're, as you know, 3 11-year-olds and an 8-year-old, and they're just precious to me, and I love them very much. And the youngest, little Luke, has Down syndrome, and he's just absolutely precious. I love spending time with them and being around them and spending life with them. It's really just a privilege.
You're teary-eyed.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you do not like for any of our older 3 children to be posted on social media?
Sure. You know that we got death threats. Some of the haters threatened to, I think it was smear the walls of our bedroom with their blood. I mean, these people are just crazy, and they're just people that are just hateful. And that person, I think, is being sentenced this summer for jail time. So growing up is hard enough. Why expose them to that, to the haters? There's just no reason to. So let's keep the hate away from them as long as we can.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. And today we got to see a little different side of you that I very much appreciate, and I hope our viewers and listeners also appreciate. Now we're excited to dive into your suggestions from our social media poll as we search for the best taco in Dallas. After all, nothing compliments a taco better than a refreshing modelo or a nice cup of horchata. Thank you for being here. authentic. Do you know what you want?
What could go wrong?
Ooh. Okay. I'm just gonna get a few. Sí, por favor.
Sí, dígame.
¿Me traes a poder tacos de pastor, chorizo, bistec, cabeza y lengua? Y 2 quesadillas, por favor. Y para él,
Un momentito, por favor.
un quesadilla con bistec.
Una quesadilla con bistec.
Ajá.
¿sí?
Yay!
Oh, did you get horchata?
I got an horchata. Oh my gosh, I haven't had it in years, and I was like, you know, why not? This is fun. I'm like, I don't know what's what. You're welcome.
They're not playing around.
That looks legit. Okay, I'm glad I ordered this. It is good. The nopalito? Shannon is a vegetarian. A vegetarian, right? Not a vegan?
For like a month now.
For a month.
Yeah. I watched a show on Netflix that made me feel guilt for eating chicken.
Do you know the name of it?
You are what you eat.
Oh,
And it was like
yeah.
a twin experiment or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going great. Last night I made homemade guacamole.
Oh, yeah. And
That's about it.
so that was it. You just ate that and chips?
Being vegetarian's hard.
It
I don't
is.
know what to eat. Like I'm really trying so hard. So far I've made a veggie lasagna and homemade guacamole.
You could make some good veggie lasagna.
I did.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Yeah. No, I've never been here. Ever. Like to any of the chains of this establishment. Ever. This is really good. That was great. And for all this food, it was $50. And for the guy.
Where did he come from?
He just walked in behind us. And then I told him, you can go in front of us because we don't know what we want yet. And he's like, and then I overheard him telling the person at the register, he was like, I don't really have any money. I have some change. How much can I get with this? And then that's when I was like, I'll get it for you. We still have more tacos to eat. Okay, gracias. This one's for you. And then, oh my gosh, I might have to get another plate. You wanna know what's bad? Okay, so I love tacos that have beef with potato. That's how my mom always made them. Beef with potato. They're so much better, and none of these have any of them with potato. And so I'm like, Is yours good? Mm-hmm. Do you like it better than the other place? Mm-hmm. Can I try this one? I just said I wasn't going to put anything in my mouth. Did you put
That's
anything
yours.
in it? I know.
No, I
But
didn't.
Still.
That's good.
This is the winner.
That is the winner.
This is definitely the
Yeah.
winner. You guys, I'm not gonna eat dinner tonight. I can't. From the two places that we went, this place or the other place?
This place.
Same.
It has
Same.
space.
Tacos La Banqueta.
It has
It
air
has AC.
conditioning.
It has a clean table.
And the quesadilla, the veggie
Bomb.
quesadilla
It
was
bomb.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is veggie. There's absolutely no meat. But you know what? The salsa also is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, this was awesome.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Ah, of course. Thank you guys.